You see what happened?
I did. I was watching the game with my family, and he made a terrific tackle. And whether it was the impact on his forearm on the player, or maybe when he got drug underneath the player's body, you saw impact, and he grabbed it right away. And if you could read lips when he got up with the team doctor, he said it's broken.
Can you look at something like that and know that that's not good news?
You definitely can know it's not good news, and no injury is ever good news. But sometimes to those of us who are involved in orthopedic surgery and sports medicine, what the player is doing afterward can sometimes dictate how bad the injury is and give us some good or bad news. The fact that he could grab it, the fact that you didn't see a deformity, the fact that you saw moving fingers, these were all good news. We all suspected a broken bone, and that's what it is. But the bones heal, and on a fairly reasonable timetable. Obviously, the number one concern is for the athlete. But we do want the athlete to come back and play for the Lions this season. It does seem like there's a very good chance that will happen.
You obviously don't know specifics of the broken bone, but what are we looking at as far as rehab and how long this would take and the prognosis?
Great question. We're looking at one of two things. There are two bones that connect the elbow to the wrist, the radius and the ulna. The radius is one of the number one bones broken in the body. So we assume that's broken. The question, if the bone next to it, the ulna, is broken as well, then you look at things of how is it broken? Is it in multiple pieces? Are the pieces lined up? What is the length of rotation? If everything is relatively stable, they can put him in a cast and start having him do some non-operative treatment with his fingers and motion. The bone can take a couple weeks to heal, but we've had players return with a cast or a club on their hand in as little as 4 to 6 weeks. And most of the time, with the luxury of potentially making the playoffs and getting ready, it looks like a 6 to 8 week recovery.
So he'd be playing in a cast.
I think so, or some sort of brace initially, because while the bone will heal with or without surgery, you still need to protect it because he might be at increased risk for re-injury.
Is it true that when you break a bone, it actually, when it heals, it's actually stronger than it was before?
That's a great question. I think that's a little bit of an old wives' tale. I don't think it heals to be stronger. You do create excess bone or callus, but callus bone isn't as strong as native bone. So no, I don't think when you break it, it grows back stronger. But when it heals, it can heal up to near 100% of the strength it was at before the initial injury.
And I don't know much about that area. I know from breaking both ankles that it and tendons and all that around there are what kind of like seems like sometimes those are affected and never go back to normal. How does that?
Absolutely. There's a lot of muscles in the forearm, both the flexor muscles and the extensor muscles. There's also soft tissue where the fingers and metacarpals are. These are all very sensitive as well. The good news is usually you either break a bone or damage the soft tissue. So if you did break the bone and that took the brunt of the injury, as that heals, the soft tissue should heal as well. Sometimes we don't break the bones, but we can tear or rupture the soft tissue, and that requires surgery in a longer rehab facility.
In the realm of injuries, this doesn't sound like it's that bad as far as playing football.
It's an unfortunate injury, and he will miss time. But long term, I don't think it'll affect his career. Short term, I do think he'll get the necessary